There are some two people here, but I'm afraid to go direct. So you brought yourself. So I'm using your sins to respond to them. Kwame Agyapong has given me trouble all these years. Now that he's going into government, he won't even allow this last minute for me to have my peace of mind. You come for vetting. You will come for vetting. On the Supreme Court nominees, I need to finish, catch the eye of Mr. Speaker before.
Mr.
Chief
Speaker,
Whip, Minority Chief Whip.
The leader is trying to drag the House into chaos. Call him to order. We agreed on things to do today. Mr. Speaker, call the leader to order. He's trying to draw the House into chaos on these last few days. Please call him to order.
Well.
You can't dictate to government. You can't. You want to do things that will please you, so that you get access to the IMF money. You, Mr. Speaker, these people, they don't play fairly. Sometimes let's tell them. When we are giving you response and you say that somebody is being combative, you do play the game fairly. We are here, we have government business. Simple lane, you say you won't allow. You are saying there will be chaos. That's all you know how to do. Unleashing violence. Come and kill me. Come and kill me. Come and kill me. Mr. Speaker, we will lay. This is leadership matter. Backbench, sit down. This is leadership matter. Kwame Agyapong, let's respond to me.
Leader, please. Please, leader.
I am, Mr. Speaker, I responded to Honorable Kwame Agyapong.
Leader, please.
He's always bullying. You are now coming into government. I want you to know.
Leader, please.
I agree with what Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim is saying. Normally, when the substantive minister is not in, we allow another minister to stand in to do it. But on this occasion, the Honorable Minister for Environment has indicated to me that she's finalizing some consultation process on possible amendments. So she will come back. I've asked her to come. She will come. She's engaged you. She didn't have a problem with it. But just as she got here, she got some indication that there are some things to be done. But that is why she left. Wait, what you are saying is right. She spoke to me after talking to you. That was when she came here. Wait, so she will, there's a new development, very well. So she will come back.
A development where? From where?
Mr. Speaker, just before you took the chair, there was a little bit of exchange, though friendly, but as part of the commentary by the respected leader opposite, he passed comments such as, if you want to kill me, come and kill me. Mutrimo Odindodo. Mr. Speaker, it might be just in a jest, but those are quite strong words, and I don't want his children or my children to read one day that Parliamentary Hansard had one leader crying that he would have been killed by somebody. So I'm just appealing to you that those portions of his presentation be expunged, because I don't think he meant those things. He was probably just joking, but the recording wouldn't know who was saying those things as a joke or seriously. So my appeal to you is to expunge those words. If you want to kill me, come and kill me, and Mutrimo Odindodo, if those ones can be.
Yes.
Our colleague, the Minister for Environment, is here.
Well, that's why
An
I
indication,
want to know whether she's ready.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. She gave an indication to the chairman of the committee that she's ready. It appears that the leader opposite, look, she's calling her out again. Mr. Speaker, it's quite obvious. It is quite obvious that the leader is the reason the minister is not prepared to take the third reading. But that is not the end of the world, Mr. Speaker. That is not the end of the world, Mr. Speaker. But let the world know that the minister was here, wanted to take the third reading, and the leader opposite decided that she shouldn't take it. So, Mr. Speaker, we can make progress. But we also decide whichever business you want to do, with our numbers, we'll decide whether we'll cooperate with you to do the rest of the business. So, Mr. Speaker, let's go on.
I want to call on the leader of the House. Indeed, when you were not here, he said they were not going to pass the EPA bill, Environmental Protection Bill, for our government to come and use it to go and get money. I thought it was a joke. And he said the minister was not here. Then I said, okay, then let the sports minister move the motion. Fortunately, the minister has come. And the Speaker, leader, we were in opposition and we assisted you to go through all the processes. Now we are in the third reading. I see no reason why a 168-page document, which was supposed to be passed under certificate of urgency, we sat through, Mr. Speaker, your good self, from morning till sometime 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock. We've just left with the third reading. Then for you to accompany the minister out, just because you are going into opposition. Leader, you've seen today, but you don't know tomorrow. What you said earlier on will appear in the Hansard. When you said you are not going to pass this for our side to come and get the money, it will appear in the Hansard. And now, physically, you have worked the minister out. Ghanaians have seen you as the leader of the house. Is that the kind of example you are setting for us to follow? Mr. Speaker, I think the leader should produce the minister to come and move the third reading of the motion. Because we supported you to move the motion, to move the consideration of the bill to this far. We were all supporting you. Because you are going to opposition, should Ghana collapse? No. Senior, I came to meet you here. You are the peace broker in this house. You are properly seated. Guide the leader to produce the minister to come and do the third reading. Mr. Speaker, if this is not done, and the ninth parliament comes, it means all our effort is an exercise in futility. And Mr. Speaker, saying that, oh, we are using this to go and get money. Should we? So if the white man was not bringing us money, wouldn't we have passed a bill on to protect our own environment? Mr. Speaker, I think the leader should do the needful. Leader, you still have about 17 days to come to this side. Do the needful. Mr. Speaker, when the Honorable Majority Leader was telling my leader, Honorable Kwame Agboja, said, Mutrimu wedding, and those kind of things, that you are wicked, and all those things. I thought it was a joke. I took it on the lighter note. That will not pass this bill for you to go and get money. I thought it was a joke. But when the minister, Honorable Minister came, so when I thought it was a joke, I even pleaded with him that he should let the Minister for Youth and Sports move the motion. He nearly agreed with me. Then fortunately, the minister has come. By where Honorable OPK is sitting, he was not following. If he was following, he wouldn't talk the way he spoke. Yes, the leader himself, who sits here, who said the words, has not argued. But because you were not paying attention, you found the words, you were not paying attention. Honorable OPK, you are specialized in just making noise. You are not following. You see what you are good at.
Honorable Ahmed, please.
And he even pointed me that Honorable Ahmed, what you are doing is not good. Mr. Speaker, I sit directly opposite.
Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim.
Leader, Mr. Speaker.
You are the minority deputy whip.
Soon to be majority, Mr. Speaker.
I don't know whether you will be deputy whip as majority, but now you are minority deputy whip. Don't follow bad precedents. Please, we emulate good. You don't emulate bad. So if you think that it's not good, please move away from it and let's move on.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for your good counsel. And I take same. Mr. Speaker, so truly, having labored for some number of days, the government side who wanted this 168-page document to be passed under certificate of urgency. What has changed? That I was able to keep my side. That we sat here almost 10 hours, 13 hours from 10 o'clock. Sometimes we close at 8 a.m. just to be able to pass this bill. We've done everything. Third reading, all that the minister just has to come and do is to stand up and bow. That one too, Mr. Speaker, for the honorable minister to be dragged out, Mr. Speaker, is most unfair. If you say those words are not good, Mr. Speaker, for the honorable minister for science, environment, science and technology to be dragged out to the point that the leader of the house followed her out and came alone. And as I speak, the honorable minister is not in the chamber. Mr. Speaker, why can we do this to ourselves? And why are we here? Mr. Speaker, this bill, as we all know, is part of the IMF conditionality. You took us to IMF, and you want us to breach the conditionalities? We must pass it, Mr. Speaker, and we must pass it. The minister must come and do the needful. I rest my case.
Let me allow, because usually he doesn't contribute to these things, but Honorable Kennedy Agyapong.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What I see here is simply an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But I think it will not help the country. Yes, I think it will not help the country. What we are doing is simply selective justice. Because you have a lot of things on the other people. You choose to do one and leave the other. They are all in the interest of the country. They are all, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm pleading with the House that you all agree that whatever we are doing here in the other paper is in the interest of the House, and therefore, let's build a consensus and approve this. You have Supreme Court, you have here the judges. Yeah. So I'm giving you the undercurrent. You have the Supreme Court judges. You see, so if you have the right to refuse, then he also has the right to refuse. But it will not help the country. It will not help the country. It will.
Please, just allow him to make his submissions.
It will not help the country, Mr. Speaker. So let's build consensus. You have 17 days to take over. We go and you come. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. I know you have the numbers. But as we speak, in the interest of the country, let's finish what we have here. That is all. The Supreme Court judges, Honorable Ahmed, I know you are very reasonable, honorable member. And this 1D, 1F, it will help both sides. I know, look, to tell you the truth, the 1D, 1F, I have no interest in it. But some colleagues on your side are enjoying. Some colleagues here also have interest. I don't have anything here, but does it mean we should deny entrepreneurs? No. This is not showdown. So, Mr. Speaker, don't worry, they are my young men. So let's finish the work. And when you come back, whatever you want to do, you do it. Do you pledge to do the rest? Now, if you are not pledging, then I cannot also advise.
Honorable member, you are addressing the chair, so the questions you are asking may be addressed to me. Let's listen to the majority leader.
Mr. Speaker, here is a situation where I, as a leader of government business, leading government side, I have a number of reports that committee members have gone through as a result of same being laid and referral made to the committee. I engage my colleagues who are in leadership that this is what I want to take, which is to lay the report. I am physically prevented. When the report is to be laid, I will get my respected colleagues in leadership saying that this one, no, will not allow the laying. Mr. Speaker, the laying is physically prevented. That will not, they tell me they won't allow. I've accommodated it in pain. I'm managing this situation. Just the laying, they won't allow. The debate, they won't allow. And Mr. Speaker, I want to be quoted that sometimes when we have had consensus last minute, my colleagues are frank to tell me that marking, this one is a political decision, we can't do anything about it. I have to stomach it because I understand that we don't share the same political principles. I understand. I'm NPP, you are NDC. You have your political committee that seeks to the political welfare of your side. Same with me. But I don't want situations where an impression will be created as if, with the greatest respect and in all modesty, that you love Ghana more than I do. We have Supreme Court nominees. The House referred it to the committee. Both sides participated in the vetting. The report is ready. When the report was ready, in the last minute, members on the minority side told our side that, look, the political committee of the NDC has taken a decision that they are opposed. We said, okay, so we should go by majority decision. Agreed. To lay this report, our colleagues in leadership say, no way. We will not allow you to lay. At least, let's lay, let's debate, and let's take a decision. I said I have 138. You have 137. If I come here and I don't have my 138, I lose. Mr. Speaker, again, I'm at pains to say this. I've engaged my respected colleague, Dr. KCL Atuba-Fosa, extensively, and he expresses his own frustration that he cannot, and I have to accept it. He says he cannot because it's a decision of the caucus. I must respect it. I'm not a neophyte in politics. I understand that that is your political position. But at least I've pleaded with Dr. Fosa that, Doc, can we at least go through the motions? Let the final stage of putting the question come so that when Mr. Speaker put the question and I don't have my 138, let me lose the question. Even so, they won't allow. The 1D1F, this parliament sponsored the committee members. Parliament resources used by committee members to hold deliberations. And Mr. Speaker, if you may recall, the last time we had an issue, you directed that the recess period, committee members should use that period to sit and iron out the differences. Mr. Speaker, I am happy to state that Honorable Patrick Boama, who chairs the committee, made sure that he himself interrogated each application. The conclusion was that all the raw materials were now being taken away, which in itself brought a savings of over $400 million. So the committee took a principled position that let's take away the raw materials and only allow exemption for equipment. Their side agreed. We all worked together. In the final analysis, when the report was about being concluded, again, the NDC minority said no. As a matter of principle, we are against it. We accepted and did a majority report. When we came to this house to lay the report, again, there was some back and forth negotiations that, okay, let's take the smaller ones. And Mr. Speaker, I don't intend to invite you into this debate, but permit me, because this is not a secret. When you counseled both sides, you counseled us to the effect that the smaller ones that are non-controversial, at least we should take them. Mr. Speaker, I went back and forth with the leader on their side that at least let's be guided by the counsel of Mr. Speaker, and at least those non-controversial ones, we take them. There was an agreement. We were told that, okay, let's consult. The next day, when they came, they said, Afenyo, again, no deal. We can't even take one. I've accommodated it. I'm human. I don't just get into combat. I don't just get into combat. I always go the extra line to engage quietly, and when diplomacy gets exhausted, I am supposed to defend my side. Mr. Speaker, 1D, 1F is still at bay. Now today, we are being told that EPA bill has to be passed, and our side is not ready, and that we do not love Ghana. I can't be less patriotic than you. Supreme Court nominees. 1D, 1F. I listen to you in silence. I am very tolerant. I am very tolerant. Mr. Speaker, you know I'm always of good behavior. You know, when I do that to them, then they'll be crying. Mr. Speaker, you know, I can respond to them, but on this occasion, I won't say anything. I want to make my case. They should allow me.
Honorable members, please, let's proceed.
Mr. Speaker, now back to the issue. It's been alleged that the minister has been dragged out of this house. He has not been dragged out of this house. I needed to engage the minister. We needed to consult on the matters that are outstanding in the bill. I respect Dr. Malfoy. And I respect his views, because that is an area of specialty. And I respect the views he expressed on the floor. Mr. Speaker, perhaps the communication between my good self and the minister, he was not privy to it. But I know that there will be an opportunity for me to engage him so that we'll be added. I would want to plead with colleagues that let us approach equity with clean hands, and if we demand equity, let's do equity. Tomorrow perhaps will be the last day before we go for our Christmas and come back. Leader on your side is not here because of transition meetings and all. Mr. Speaker, I promise you again that I will again reach out to the leader of the minority caucus, plead with him over and over again that at least those outstanding business of government, he should allow us to lay the report, debate the report. They should say all they want to say. We should say all we want to say. And the question put If a question is put and I don't have my numbers, they will carry the day. It's a notorious fact that I would need 138 to do business, to take a decision. If I don't have 138, no business. In any event, this EPA bill that you are saying we should pass, 2/3 reading, look at this chamber. Mr. Speaker, do we have 138 to take a decision? We are not up to 138 here and now. At the time the call was being made for us to even consider it, we were less than this. Let us be consistent. How do we make progress? And to turn round for Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, who I respect so much, to turn around and argue with some force that I, who lead government business, is not interested in government business, is, with the greatest respect, very rich. Very rich. And I will not lose respect for Honorable Agyapong. He is my tribesman. We all come from the same village. We trace our ancestry to the same person. And I will always respect him as my senior brother. He was called many years to the bar before me. So even if he has erred today, I would want us to resolve that at the family house. It's unfortunate he's left the chamber. But I want to leave him with this from Shakespeare in Macbeth. As he is my friend and a kinsman, strong both against the deed and as his host, who should against the murderer shut the door and not bear the knife himself? Today, my own tribesman is the one who bore the knife himself. I'll leave it to posterity. I rest my case, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minority Chief Whip. Please, I'll give you the opportunity, but let me listen to the leader first.
Mr. Speaker, this entire stretch of today's sitting was not intended. Mr. Speaker, when we met this morning as leaders to agree on what to do, I must admit that the leader opposite was not around, so did not understand what we even agreed to do. Mr. Speaker, you will notice that when you took the chair, the second deputy speaker actually was just about to put the question for adjournment. But because you prompted us earlier that the Attorney General was going to be coming to do some business, we knew that maybe that was why you were coming, and indeed, when you came, that's what happened. Mr. Speaker, this is what happened. We decided when we come in this morning, if the minister responsible for environment is around, we will give her the opportunity to do the third reading. We also agreed to complete 3 reports from the Public Account Committee, which were outstanding from yesterday's 7 reports, which we took 4. So we're going to do that one as well. Mr. Speaker, that was all that we agreed to do. There was no discussion about judges. There was no discussion about anything about, tax waivers. But you know, the leader opposite is an expert in actually introducing whatever he wants to say, whether it's about biology, and his interest was in zoology. He knows how to turn, the things to his favor. Mr. Speaker, for all that he said, he was only lamenting about the fact that, truth be told, and I'm surprised he said something which Ghanaians must take note of. When they supplied this house, when they tried to take this tax waivers at the beginning, Mr. Speaker, it was almost $500 million. Ask him the question, if we had actually agreed to them, what was going to happen to all that money? No, I'm saying that when you introduce those bills in this house, if we had agreed with you, what was going to be happening to all that money? Today he's telling us that the money is just about half. But you should be apologizing to Ghanaians by actually almost compelling us to approve tax waivers, which you said later you took away materials and other things. When you were speaking, no, sit down. When you were speaking, I wasn't making any gestures. Sit down. So you should be clapping for the minority, for being the ones that saved Ghanaians. You should be on public platforms applauding us for being diligent in holding your feet to the fire. When you were almost reckless in compelling us to approve tax waivers which were not due to those companies. Today, you are still crying that while the economy has collapsed, under you, you are still compelling us that tax waivers are the solution. Let me tell you this. US did their election before our election. The talk on Capitol Hill and other places is that no more legislation until Trump takes office. No more legislation until Trump takes office. No, I'm saying that is those people whose democracy is older than us. That is what they are talking about. So this is it, Mr. Speaker. We were here. They hurriedly actually printed other paper addendum, Mr. Speaker, without consultation to anybody from this bench. But guess what? Patriotic as we are, we agreed. The genesis of the disagreement is this, Mr. Speaker. He agreed that we will take item 1, A and B on the other paper addendum. He conveniently allowed us to lay the one that is in his interest. And what is the first one? The GNPC work program, which has been in abeyance for all this while. Mr. Speaker, interestingly, once that was laid, and my colleague, the ranking on Oyeme, was about to lay the report on AFCONs, he quickly jumped on his feet and said, no, that one cannot be laid. Meanwhile, Mr. Speaker, he actually produced an other paper addendum which included that. In other words, he baited us to add it, but all he wanted was other paper addendum item 1A. He never wanted to do the B. Mr. Speaker, that is what generated the argument. And I said that if you wanted us to do the GNPC agreement, then allow the Minister for Environment to also do the third reading, Mr. Speaker. This is the genesis of the disagreement. So all these lectures about the virtues of tax waivers and then the virtues of Supreme Court justice, Mr. Speaker, who in this country believes that the Supreme Court is lacking, judges? Who in this country will believe that there's crisis at the Supreme Court because we can't find enough judges to deal with cases? In fact, some people will say there are too many. So where from this idea that the country is in any peril because this side has decided to block anything? Mr. Speaker, I'm beginning to find out what is the interest of some people on this side, hell-bent on the fact that we must grant these tax waivers to these crony companies, when the government that is going to take over is going to inherit tons of problems. Mr. Speaker, I attended one transition meeting yesterday. Road Ministry alone is capable of leaving a commitment of 150 billion Ghana cedis. 150 billion Ghana cedis. Commitment on road alone, education, health, others are not part of it. We are in crisis. The side this way should be calm and pray to God that we will be able to navigate the next 4 years, being able to even pay the salary of members of parliament in the 9th parliament. We shouldn't be just talking as if everything is honky-dory. So, Mr. Speaker, we are not in any hurry to be enjoying anything. We know we have been put in a deep hole. President Mahama is going to inherit a crisis economy. Even doing so has started already. So, Mr. Speaker, let me repeat what my leader said. Our side will not today, tomorrow, approve or support the approval of the tax waivers or the judges. Whatever it will take in this house, we shall put forward a robust prevention of that, Mr. Speaker, lawfully. We shall not be part of this. In any case, you are wondering how come you lost so miserably. Could it be because of your posture? When we tell you don't do something because we say we are the government, we'll do it. Are you not surprised at the level of loss? Maybe that is why. Do your introspection. Don't push Ghanaians any further. You use state institutions to bastardize everything, and the Ghanaians are punished you by saying that is not the way forward. Yet you haven't learned your lessons. You haven't learned your lessons.
You try to use the judiciary, the police, the immigration, the defense against the people of this country. Listen. And then they use, listen. When your leader was speaking, everybody was quiet. When your leader was speaking, we heard everything he said in silence. I am saying that whilst you may be okay because you've been in government for 8 years, the rest of Ghanaians, those people who have lost their jobs when their banks were closed, those people who have been sacked, those people who have been killed at polling stations are not happy. So I'm saying that perhaps you should reflect on the fact that whilst losing election is nothing, your loss is actually monumental. Have you reflected on that? I believe your posture here, when everything we tell you, you say we are the government, you continue doing it. That is why you lost that much. Reflect on that. Majority leader. You notice today is the first time I'm calling you majority leader for months. I want to give you that so that you can go home with it. Though you told everybody that it is spiritually unwise for you to be called a minority leader, that is your seat if they make you the leader. This will be your seat. At the moment, you are a minority leader in transition. I am told that you are even begging your party to make you a minority leader today. Is it no longer spiritually against your spirit? All of a sudden, your spirit will allow you to be a minority leader.
Honorable Minority Chief Whip.
Mr. Speaker, I will conclude by saying that, Mr. Speaker, these two issues are not about what the Ghanaian businessman needs. It's for government to take a hold on our fiscal front, our forex. That is what the Ghanaian businessman wants, not the granting of dodgy tax waivers to crony companies. And in another case, we never believe that the Supreme Court is lacking personnel in terms of their judges. So to say that if we don't grant these two nominees, that is your business. So, Mr. Speaker, I will leave it here. But to say that we have done anything wrong, that is not true. And indeed, Majority Leader, you came in when we have agreed on what to do, and you are coming to introduce things that were never agreed. And I will encourage you, if you come to work tomorrow, come at the time that we attend conclave, so that you don't jump in at the middle, try to make those who came ahead of you look like they didn't have any good agreement. Mr. Speaker, I rest my case.
I'm only thanking you for all the inputs you've made. On behalf of my colleagues, be assured that we will cooperate with you to end it well. Indeed, it's not been an easy road, and we're also not discounting our respective parties in interests. But I think you've made a call that we should travel the length and get to the point where we know for our respective interests, we will go in our divergent ways. So, Mr. Speaker, Onato, I thank you. But I'm praying, Mr. Speaker, that you stay with us for the next 4 years. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, don't forget that as I pray for you, you also pray for me. So this is Father and Son prayer.
Honorable members, who is talking?
Oh, Mr. Speaker, let them know that they are not part of us. You and I, you know, when it is Father and Son, they will become third persons. So stay away from this matter. Mr. Speaker, I'm praying for you. I'm not sure they are praying for you. I am not sure. I am not sure they are praying for you. Mr. Speaker, don't allow Kwame to respond to this. I am not sure Kwame Abuja. Mr. Speaker, I'm not sure they are praying for you. Incoming Minister of Roads.
Honorable Majority Leader, I'm very sure they are praying for me. I'm very, very sure they are praying for me. Yes.
Has been blessed to have you in the chair. Indeed, I wonder what kind of parliament we would have had if somebody else was sitting in the chair. Mr. Speaker, your good deeds shall follow you. And Mr. Speaker, if I was appointing authority, he will stay in that chair as long as possible. Mr. Speaker, I just hope that indeed, he's been saying what he has said here openly. I just hope that he's been saying it privately as well. I will leave it there, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I believe, as he said, we shall do our best in the interest of this country and for the sustenance and the respect of this House to do whatever we can to support you to end tomorrow on a high note. We promise to do same, that we shall not do anything that to bring the respect that Ghanaians want from this House down. We shall do our best. And I want to commend my colleagues on the other side. Whatever we do here, we do in good faith. Nobody intends, you have said your part. And on behalf of the Honorable Atuforsen, we thank you very much for everything today. And I hope tomorrow will end very well. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, I think we will call it a day and I'll proceed to adjourn the House. I believe tomorrow we can start sitting at 11. Well, there are a few things to be done in the morning. And kindly get many more of your members to be present because we have to take some key decisions tomorrow. Tomorrow, Friday, we have to take some very key decisions. We may, if need be, even have a closed sitting. If need be, tomorrow we may have a closed sitting. So please, all of you, try to be available to assist the House take the right decision. Please.
Speaker, please, if it pleases you, the chair of the Constitution and Legal Committee informs me to seek your leave to inform colleagues that the referral you just made to them, they've scheduled 9 a.m. tomorrow to deliberate on same. So,
yes, the two bills.
Yeah,
the two
yes,
bills.
please.
Yes.
So, I'm using this opportunity to therefore, with your leave, appeal to colleagues to make it a point to attend the meeting, including those who want to be friends to the committee. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, honorable members, please take it serious. Come and attend the committee, the joint committee meeting at 9. We need your input because it's about this House, the institution of Parliament, how we can make it better, stronger, to be able to protect and anchor our democracy. So with this, I proceed to adjourn the House. The House is accordingly adjourned till tomorrow at 11 in the forenoon. The House is adjourned.